Hey YouTube, what's going on? It's me. I'm back with another full-length video. It's been a while since I've made a video like this, but here I am back at it. I'm also back at my home, not my apartment. I had to stay for a few days to sort out some personal stuff. But if you guys are new here, my name is Ali. This is my YouTube channel and I make videos on wellness, self-confidence, fashion tips. I make videos on them all. If you guys are interested, be sure to drop me a like and a subscription. I would be very appreciative of that. But anyways, let's get into this video. Let's talk about the 4 habits that got me out of depression. I had a really rough time in my life after I graduated college in late 2020. It was in the height of the COVID pandemic. We were all isolated, and I'm sure that took a toll on everybody's mental health. But I was able to implement these 4 habits that were able to get me out of depression. What are these 4 habits? Let's get into that. The very first habit that I implemented was exercise. This seems so cliche, and I know so many of you people have heard this before, that exercising reduces anxiety and depression while in turn also making you more confident. Let me be very honest about something. All those things are true, but personally for a long time I did not believe that, just because I feel like I never reaped those sort of benefits. But after some time, some honest time at the gym, I started to notice something. First off, I had actually put on some weight. Not a lot, but it was a noticeable difference. I cannot tell you the sort of adrenaline rush I feel when I weighed myself and realized that I put on at least 10 pounds of muscle. It really was exhilarating. It really was at that moment that I began to feel a boost of confidence, because then I realized that if I truly committed myself to something, I could make it happen. This surge of confidence also in turn reduced my depression as well, and there is a reason for that. I've realized that if you put your body through constant stress and tension, like exercising, you will be much more able to handle any tension or stress that may come in within your life. Once I started exercising consistently, I started to notice that not only was I more confident in myself, but I also began to worry less about things that I knew would bother me before. The next thing, and by far the most important thing you guys need to get you out of depression, is friends. Good friends. Now this is by far, again, this is one of the most important points I have to make in this video. During COVID, we were all isolated, we were all stuck within our homes, and we weren't able to go out and talk to people. I also was not able to see some of my closest friends for a very long time. This took a toll on me, and I think this took a toll on all of us. It wasn't really until the end of the COVID pandemic, around like mid 2021, that I realized just how important it was to have people around you. In fact, that was one of the main reasons I started to go to the gym in the first place. After being stuck at home for more than a year, I thought it would be nice to go to a gym so I could just be surrounded by people at least. But anyways, one thing that started to happen to me around late 2021 was that I started to get back in touch with people that I hadn't seen in years. This was a great refresher for me, as I was used to staying inside all of the time. It was a great change to finally start seeing people again. By the time 2022 started, I started going out a lot more, and I had plans almost every weekend. This was a huge thing for me that really helped me get out of depression. So many of us were isolated during COVID that it really took a toll on our mental health. But it wasn't really until that I started to see some people that I hadn't seen in a while that my depressive thoughts began to fade away. Having good friends is so important, and I feel like there are some people that really undermine that. So many people are just like don't want to socialize or antisocial for whatever reason. And having good friends is perhaps one of the most necessary things that we all need, because without it, we are all isolated from one another. The next habit that helped me was accountability. This point kind of piggybacks off my previous point, and before I go into this point, I should say that you do need like good friends for this. If you don't have good friends, they won't hold you accountable. But what is accountability? Accountability is the simple act of taking responsibility and following through with the plans, with the things that you plan. There are so many of us who procrastinate. There are so many of us that save things for the last minute. Believe it or not, this can take a huge toll on our mental well-being, as our lack of action can really make us feel as if we're not good enough or not good enough to follow follow through with our own goals. This is where the idea of accountability comes in. Having your friend as an accountability partner is perhaps one of the best things you can use to lift you out of depression, because they will be there to hold you accountable. Let me explain to you what the purpose of this is. Having a good friend to keep you accountable will ensure that you follow through with your goals. They will also make sure that you follow through with them, and they will call you out if you don't. I remember when I first started on my fitness journey, I had a friend that I would have as an accountability partner. He would ask me every morning, no lie, if I exercise, and then I would show him a photo of me working out to prove to him that I was. This it's all something that I would recommend you doing, and this proved to have a tremendous impact on me, as it really let me make goals and follow through with them. This is why I encourage all of you to have a good friend as an accountability partner, because it just might be the thing you need. But how can something like this lift you out of depression? It can just be for the simple reason that it may allow you to follow through with your goals, which in turn can give you a huge confidence boost. Last but not least, we got hobbies. Now, it's important that all of us have a hobby or something that we can be passionate about. For me, well, you know my main hobby of making videos. Anyways, it's necessary that we as people have something that we can fall back on. So many of us just work a 9 to 5, and after that we just watch TV and call it a day. While there's nothing wrong about that, things can get very monotonous when we live such a lifestyle. This is why we should all have something that we are passionate about and that we can do on our spare time, just so we can add some variety into our life. But anyways, that about does it for this video. This is my take. This is my personal recount of how I was able to get out of depression, and I highly suggest you start doing these things if you are looking to improve yourself. Now, this is all just based on my own experience and my own opinion. I'm not like any expert on this, but if you like what I had to say, be sure to drop me a like and a subscription. I would very much appreciate that. But this is me signing off for this one. Have a good one. Peace.